We recorded your podcast last night here in Stockholm, but before we get into that pure entertainment, we want to bring you an infomercial about Altitude Festival.
We're going to be doing a live podcast there. If you want to see us be this hungover in a different country, it'll be Austria. Meyerhofen, one of the most beautiful cities in Austria. I say I've not been to fucking many of them, but, you know, it's like fucking a really hot person. You're like, I don't need to fuck other hot people to know that this was one of the hottest I'm capable of doing in my life. I've not been to Altitude for about 7 years now. I'm very excited to be going back. It's an unbelievably good lineup this year. It's myself, Darrell O'Brien, Paul Smith, Maisie Adams, Zoe Lyons, Andrew Maxwell, Marcus Brigstock, Emmanuel Sonobi, friend of the podcast, Mark Nelson, friend of the podcast, and then heaps of other people. And I'm not going to go through their names because one, there's too many of them, and two, I don't know many of them.
It's such a good lineup, and what's mint about it is like it's a proper hangout. It's like everybody, it's immersive, it's an immersive festival. Like there's no, like other festivals is an artist bar that we'll all retreat to and hobnob like pricks. But this is a one where we'll like hang out with everybody on the slopes, or on the same slopes, in the same bars. The gigs are always class.
Please do come to the festival. It's unbelievably good fun.
So we've got a discount code for you, Muggins and Cream 24.
Thistly Cross 10.
And actually, when you do Muggins and Cream 24, you actually get 10% off. 24 is misleading.
It is, mate. Yeah, this is like you're going to get a quarter off, almost a quarter off.
It's the year.
That makes sense.
Muggins and Cream, all lowercase, 24. And go to altitudefestival.com to buy your tickets. And your flights, you want to fly into either Innsbruck or Munich, and then get your transfer from there. And hotel-wise, if you can get the Strass, that is ideal place. Like that's where the majority of the gigs are, the majority of the hangout is, and it's near the ski lift. Every year that I do Altitude Festival, it's the best week of the year by miles. And it's the 1st to the 5th of... Should I get this right? The 1st to the 5th of April this year. And that's going to be our next live podcast. Yeah. It's going to be in the mountains. And it's going to be class. And we want to see loads of you people there. Enjoy the podcast. It's mint.
Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and Cream, Cream and Muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
And that's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
I'm John Spartan and this is Simon Phoenix. And we have just been cryogenically frozen.
You just call him John Spartan.
John Spartan and Simon Phoenix.
Who's John Spartan?
He's Stallone's character in Demolition Man, where they get frozen for like 30 odd years and then come back.
His name's John Spartan.
Aye.
That's very funny because the name of Spartan Master Chief is John 117. So obviously,
who's Spartan Master Chief?
From fucking Halo.
Oh, okay. What year was this?
Oh no, Halo was definitely after
95, I think Demolition Man was.
Aye. Is that the one where they wipe their arse holes with shells?
Aye.
Aye. Mm-hmm. There's a fucking joke that boomers love way too fucking much.
No, hey, not boomers. Bring boomers into this.
It's a bit boomery.
Bring boomers into this Gen X shit that we've got going on.
Here's a little bit of advice for you. If you're around about, my age, maybe a little bit younger, and you want to make your girlfriend's dad laugh, if you want to make your father-in-law laugh, right? Just first time they come round to your house to visit, take all the toilet paper out and put 3 shells on top of it. And he'll come out and he'll be like, oh, very good. Very, very. Deborah, it's actually a reference to a movie. And yeah.
And then he'll start swearing next to the profanity ticket generator.
Yeah.
I love that they were given like actual paper receipts in the future.
Man, you know how people nowadays, angry old people online, when they talk about, they see fucking Sarah Pascoe or Nish Kumar do comedy that they don't like, and they're like, things were funny back in my days. I'd love to go back in time 40 years and just be the best living comic by a country fucking mile.
Aye.
Just go back and just go, right, are we just doing racism and misogyny then? Straight up, doesn't need to be clever, straight through the thing. All right, let's make you pieces of shit laugh. I'm about to become a fucking millionaire, a multi-millionaire.
Guilt-free.
Oh, absolutely guilt-free. Fucking unironically using the P word, unironically saying faggot. Oh, I'd have the time of my life.
That's the way that you censored puff, but not faggot.
No, I mean...
No, I was being silly. I was doing it silly.
Well, don't.
Sorry, mate. Need time for silliness. No. How did you enjoy being frozen for 5 minutes?
I mean, busman's holiday when you're in the fucking Scandex, like it's a very odd thing to... I'm glad we did it.
We could have just took our clothes off outside. But he did say it was like... He said some ridiculous number like minus 80 something. So he must have been talking about Fahrenheit. obviously.
Yeah.
Because 0 is minus 40. No, I think I've got that wrong.
I think you've got it wrong.
I think minus 40 is where... This is why minus 40 is in my head. I'm not even going to look this up. I'm going to pass it off as a fact. Minus 40 is the one place where Celsius and Fahrenheit meet. Minus 40. If you say it's minus 40, you don't need to ask what in.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's where they cross each other. Don't fact check it. Just take that as a bit of knowledge. Pass it on as your own. Don't just change the subject if anyone asks where you got it from.
I fucking hate people that use Fahrenheit. It's Celsius is just infinitely fucking easier.
It's the most...
Because do you know why it's easier, right? Because anything over 0 is warmer, and anything below 0 is cold.
0 is freezing point, 100's boiling point. Break it up in between.
Yeah, so simple. What temperatures is today outside? It's 18 degrees. Oh, that's like 18 above 0, so that's going to be fairly hot. What temperatures is today? 54.
I don't want to be doing calculus to work out if I'm going to be hot.
What are you fucking talking about, you stupid yank? What?
Like, everything... I think I've been on this rant a million times, but everything needs to be metric. It makes sense. Like, I know that, like, people will cling on to miles and stuff. I saw a friend of mine having a rant about people, like, only write their run times or whatever in kilometres because it makes it look better because you're doing more of them and all that. And you're like... Yeah, because like, it breaks everything down into hundreds.
Yeah.
Like, our mind is made to work in 5s and 10s because that's how many fingers we've got. Like, 10 would be where 12 is, and we would see, like, 100 as 120 if we had 6 fingers on each hand. Like, it's literally, like, what brain is fucking tailored for 10s.
I agree.
And we just go, nope, I'm going to go absolute fucking multiples of random shit.
I agree. It should absolutely be kilos over stone, even though I do still register myself a lot of the time, measure myself in stone. Easier in kilo, fair enough. Pounds, pointless, get to fuck. Where I cannot do it is height. I'm 1.87 m. Fuck off, cunt. Which is everyone knows what 6 foot is.
Never tell anybody your length for your cock in centimetres.
Like, everyone knows what 6 foot is. If you're below 6 foot, you're not a real man, and if you're over 6 foot, you are a real man. It's that simple, right? I say this is a 5'10" person, right? 6 foot. That's just the game. We're in Sweden. I have a friend who is 1.97 m. Okay, what does that mean? What does that fucking mean?
They're right and we're wrong. We just haven't.
Yeah, I can't.
We haven't unpicked that bit yet. Like, it's easy for us to, like, say Americans unpick the Fahrenheit bit so we can all get along. But, like, all it is I haven't unpicked the fucking feet and furlongs and all that. Like, why were leagues? Why are we talking in that kind of fucking old tongue?
I don't know why we are.
But there's some of it stuck. Like, that is stuck. Like, I'm not like I'm now weighing myself in kilograms.
Yeah, I do the same. Yeah,
I do that now. That took a while.
Yeah.
It was always like 12 stone or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like
and is it
80
pounds that make
kilos.
up stones?
Yeah, so 12 pounds in a stone.
Yeah. I think you just got to be fucking brutal. There should just be like a 6-month period where if you request anything out of the metric system, you don't get anything. Like, just people will go, no, can I get 2 pounds of cheese? No. But I can see you've got cheese there. Yeah. You work it out in your fucking head and you tell me. But you know how much 2 pounds of cheese? Of course it is. I'm a cheesemonger. I've been doing this for 50 years. I've been doing this before they forced the fucking change. But they brought the change in yesterday. And if I sell you cheese in pounds, right, they've got my daughter, they're going to kill her. So order it in kilos.
I'm going to put it out there that, like, cheesemongers were the original people to use actual stones.
Yeah.
Where they put a stone in the scale next to the cheese.
Yeah. I can't. The temperature's just the real pissing worst. Like, they just like saying 100 because that sounds really, and it is 100 Fahrenheit's really hot, and they like being able to say it's over 100. Sounds way more impressive than it's over 32, which is like it's fucking boiling.
It's like the Super Soaker 2000. There's never a 1,999 previous Super Soakers.
There were 3.
They're just making it sound cool by giving it a big number.
Yeah. Same with the Nimbus 2000.
Unless it was like a 2 litre. And it was like 2,000 centilitres.
Is litre 1,000? Is litre metric?
Litres and millilitres are... Fuck, you've got it here, Nick. It is. That's the metric side of pints.
Is it? Okay.
Imperial's pints. Fucking hell, that's that's like dementia. That's like something that was like we're already definitely knew, but just had to question.
Yeah, when we do the forced conversion to the metric system, it does mean we're going to go about 2 years without decent cakes from our grandparents, right? Because they're never going to be able to adjust to. Because they're the only cunts in the world who knows what a cup is, right? Because back in the 1950s, there was only one type of cup, and that's what you measured with. 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of milk. And now you live in modern times, and you're like, what cup? What physical cup do you mean in my house? Do you mean a juice cup? Do you mean a tea cup? Do you mean a coffee cup? Is it an espresso cup? Is it what's a fucking cup, Matt? Is that like a cup from a dick? Is that what it is? Because I got a bigger cup than other people. How much sugar am I putting into the fucking cake?
I think that is like they just couldn't give a fuck. They just like, oh, just chuck half a cup in.
Yeah.
Like, stop being so precise when you're spoiling it.
Yeah.
Have a cup, just a fucking handful of berries.
Yeah.
Like, stop counting the berries with your fanny. Just chuck them in there. I think that's just them being class and vague. Also, the like old women who cook and your dealer are the only people that talk in ounces.
Yeah. Yeah, again, weed, I was always... Like, Coke's in grams. Well done, Coke. You've done the right thing. Yeah. Coke dealers out there, you're doing a good job. Fucking weed dealers. The nerve you've got to give your clientele fucking math to do. Giving yourself math to do. Can I get an eighth? An eighth of what? Eighth of what? What does an eighth mean? Can I get a quarter? A quarter of what?
You went directly to the Americans by depluralizing maths.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You've started like I sometimes do it where like I'll know there's American listeners, so I'll say diaper instead of nappies. Like I get that.
I do that.
You just done it subconsciously there. You just give them math. You let them have math.
I would never let. No, it is maths. There is more than one type of. There's more than one math happening. It's shortened down version of mathematics.
Like, even though there's more than one Lego, it's still Lego. They say Legos.
Yeah, that's a brand though. Legos. So that's
Lego.
Yeah, you don't have Kleenexes. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You have.
Yeah, you
get me some Kleenex.
You get your hair.
Me some Lego.
You get your hair cut, but you don't get to get your hairs cut.
No.
Even though that's what you're doing, I'm gonna cut my hairs. Like hair is the plural for hair.
No. Hair's also the title for the collection of hair.
Of hair.
In the same way that multiple sheep is the same word for multiple hair. A head of hair is hair.
Yeah. I've got a funny thing in my house now. You know how Natalie's hair just ends up everywhere? Like, surely you've ended up with just like somehow like Natalie's hair just in your house. Do you know? Like, long black hair. I always like, people are just going to think this is me. I was picking up, people are going to come in, see hairline run, look at me, and going, well, she's got a full head of hair. His hair's fallen out. That's his. I'm like, you're making it look like it's me.
So it's gone grey yet?
She does dye it. Fat cunt.
Spineless.
She does dye her hair. But I think it's just like the occasional grey. I don't think she'd be like shock grey.
I've gone too hard in my stance that anyone who dyes their hair is a godless fuck. Because my hair clearly.
You'd find that like most women, even without grey hair, choose the hair colour. Like, I'm gonna uneducated here throw out the guess that approximately 90% of women choose the hair colour. Yeah. Which is why it's gay for a man to do it. Get a boob job and all, are you? Like 90% of women. It can't all be real, that class.
Ding dong, it's the sound of capitalism. This podcast is proudly sponsored by, and proud to be sponsored by, Thistly Cross Cider, the alcohol I drink in my spare time and have done for several years. So much so that I begged them to sponsor this podcast.
The fact it's a personal favourite drink of both of us makes it so easy to do this bit. Looking down the barrel and just lying about a script that you've been forced down your neck. You're like, no, we actually want to be sponsored by this company.
If you watched any of the live streams I did during COVID, you understand that Thistly Cross has always been one of my favourite ciders. It comes in 5 delicious flavours. They are strawberry, elderflower, original, Scottish fruits, and my personal favourite, whiskey cask flavoured.
Which is not just your own personal favourite, but it won the award in 2023 for the best flavoured cider at the Scottish Cider Awards.
The UK Cider Awards.
Is that right?
If I was
one of the judges, would have absolutely won it.
If you go to thistleyscrosscider.co.uk and use the promo code ThistleysLost10, you'll get a 10% discount code. And by using that code, you will also let them know that our very good influencing has actually worked. And then there will be more benefits in the future for both us and you, I imagine.
And at the moment, this is only available in the UK. It's a small Scottish company based in Dunbar in East Lothian. And eventually, hopefully, with our help, it'll get big enough to provide cider to all of our listeners all over the world.
Yeah, let's make it big in India, lads.
Yes. We want all the Estonians drinking Thistley Cross.
By going to thistlecrosscider.co.uk. Like, my hair is getting whiter and whiter every day, going for the fucking Reed Richards down the side. And I refuse to dye it because I'm not that pathetic. I'm not so scared of impending death that I have to lie to myself through either religion or just in the mirror being like, oh, I'm going to make it's brown. I'm still 27. I'm old. My body's letting me know.
It's fine. You can look quite well read if you go grey as a man.
I don't think it'll massively suit me. Like, don't get me wrong, I would have preferred more of a intermediate period between looking young and.
You don't just want to look instantly bookish.
No, man, I don't want to go from the teenage comedian to Stuart Goldsmith in the space of 6 months.
That's gonna happen though.
Aye, he pulls off grey well. He's fine. Tell you who doesn't pull off grey well? Schofield. He's grey. Not that. Don't want that fucking hair.
Don't want that shocking grey hair. Nah. Yeah, grey's never bothered me because I mean I've done hard time being ginger. So grey's like no, I was fucking raised on the streets, mate.
I can't do it.
Altitude trained with my hair.
Cara takes great pride in pointing out how grey my hair gets, which is why I can never dye it because I'm like, I'm not going to let you know.
Would you shave it off if you started going bald?
Yeah. Yeah, I would. Yeah, straight away. It's the only way. And then but you'd have to go to the gym I'd have to go to the gym every day. I'd be kicking in everyone's head who called me bald. If I'm gonna be a slap head, I better be able to throw a fucking punch.
You know what's I don't want to be a bald comedian. There's loads.
Aye.
And like
name the good ones. Bill Burr.
Chappelle's gone. There's loads of good club comics. The Comedy Store used to be like a sick lineup of bald men.
Aye.
It'd always be like Roger Monkhouse, Mike Gunn, Sean Mayo, Ian Thorne, Paul Thorne.
If you say Andy Parsons, I'm going to throw you out that fucking window.
I was never going to say Andy Parsons.
How the fuck did Andy Parsons get on Mock the Week?
Stole a living.
How did he get on Mock the Week for like 14 fucking seasons?
By just like talking through his nose.
That's Andy Parsons is the reason I hate Middle England, because he was successful somewhere. Like
people were liking him.
Yeah, aye. Well, he just says silly things in a silly voice.
Did you ever see him live doing stand up? I never did.
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah,
any good?
No,
nah,
no. It's stank shit. I watched him do new material. I'm like, man, go and do old material and watch it get the exact same fucking reaction.
He wasn't for me, that guy. Like,
he wasn't for anyone apart from your grand lesbian friend.
because he was on that show for a long time, wasn't he? And it was so successful.
He outstayed fucking Frankie. He outstayed fucking Russell Howard.
Yeah, Manfred. Oh no, that was 8 out of 10 cats.
That's 8 out of 10 cats.
There goes my mind again.
Aye.
I've spent a lot of this last while being high, and as much as I enjoy it, I don't think I'm a stoner. I like getting high. I don't like living in that pocket of consciousness like you do.
Because you don't do anything when you're high.
Huh?
You don't. I can gem, I read, I do work, I reply to emails when I'm high.
I'm class crack. I'm like electric banter when I'm stoned. I can really enjoy a film and then immediately forget what happened as soon as I've like there's a couple of times we went to the cinema and watched Dune. I've got fucking no idea what happened in that film because I was so high watching it. Enjoyed the shit out of it when I was sat there, but I just didn't, like, none of it recorded to my mind. So I need to watch that again. So there's a bunch of stuff I've watched high that, like, I haven't watched at all that I thoroughly enjoyed.
I watched that Society of Snow on Netflix. They remade Alive, which was that story of the fucking Uruguayan rugby team that crashed in the Andes and were stuck there for way too long. Mad. Like, you think it was like, 2 weeks, and then they were found. Oh, no, it's fucked. It was like well over 2 months, and they had to walk through the mountains themselves to go and get rescued because they knew they were just never going to be found.
So no one's going to find them, and if they start, like, so they've got I assume they've got, like, a cache of, like, stuff, like the meals on the flight can be.
Nope.
Like, if they survived, surely these, like, little trays of dinners are there somewhere.
Mm-mm.
No, they're just uncatered flight.
Aye.
What year was it?
It's fucking 70s.
Was it?
Aye.
So not even.
And it was a flight for a Uruguayan like youth rugby team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were smoking on the plane. The one thing I will say about the movie, and this is fair enough because the times were different back then, right? They on day like 10, 11 is when they start making the decision of like, man, we got to start eating the bodies out there. Like, there is food here. We all just disagree what is food, but I'm pissing black. There's nothing like there's enough water as we want because it's all fucking around us. But we need to fucking eat, and they're having these really hard conversations about whether they're going to start eating their friends. Cunts have still got cigarettes.
While smoking.
And they're like, I think now's the time. I'm like, how do you still have? Because I imagine being trapped at the top of a mountain, freezing to death, debating about whether to eat your friend ass first or head first.
You're not going to be
It's
content.
a stressful situation.
But the guilt-free cigarette, because you're not thinking about the longevity of your life. You're not thinking about the repercussions and the cancer. You're just enjoying a tab. Because you're like, I'm probably not going to make it until this kicks in.
Aye, that would be good. Proper fucking guilt-free smoking. What were they complaining about up there?
Getting a guilt-free cig. Should we eat me mate or not?
Oh man!
If you work it right, if you
I do. By the way, I really, really recommend the movie Society Store. It's better than Alive. Fucking well done on the remake. They absolutely shat on. Nobody ever needs to watch Alive again. It's been destroyed. It's embarrassing. I don't need to go back and watch that movie to understand. It's been instantly fucking beaten. Right? It's the gulf between like Dark Knight versus fucking George Clooney's. That's the gulf. That's what it makes it look like. It's really very good.
I haven't seen Alive in a very long time.
Me neither.
I might have even been in my teens when I watched it. Was it?
Aye, they made us do it in philosophy because, like, to give you the debate of like when is it okay to eat human beings.
All right, I died in the crash. Right, I'm the only one that died.
I'm not eating. You're the last person I fucking
I'm the only
eat.
one that's dead.
Then I'll wait.
The only
I'll
dead
wait.
cunt, right?
Fine. I'll let someone eat you, and then when they die of eating you, I'll eat them.
Kai fed. I'm not eating Kai fed meat. Feed them Kai, massage them, like Kobe beef. So they decided to chop us up and start cooking us, having a barbecue.
Oh, they don't cook them.
No, I'm telling you what's happening here. This is your little plane crash, right? They start cooking us up, and then you go, actually, that smells alright. That.
Aye.
Tummy's fucking rumbling, and then people are like literally salivating. It's going, proper lush this. You're gonna have some Danny, right? All right, then chuck us what you having? Chuck us a bicep, chuck us a calf, chuck us an arse.
Now, annoyingly, right?
Arse will be the tastiest. Can't eat it.
I can't do. I can't. Yeah. Okay, I can't request guys' arse.
Marbled.
Can I get his arse, please? You've been waiting for this your whole life.
My succulent marbled arse. Just dripping of fat.
Because he's been fucking sand it most of the time. Even man, I wonder if like my toxic masculinity and my inner child's like my inner bully child's still fear of being called gay, even though it does make a fucking
means you couldn't eat my arse off the bone.
Yeah. Like, I wonder, like, I'm still stuff, and I'm like, it would be the best, juiciest bit, or would it be called a gay? You're in the mountains, you're about to die.
Because he's cock. Pass his cock over. I'm still hungry. No left.
I reckon, like, even see thighs as well. Because here's the funny thing in the movie, like, there is, man, I get.
Did they have that conversation?
What?
Which bits they're gonna eat?
No, two of the guys like they're like, we'll go and start cutting bits off the body and we'll not tell you who it is and we'll not tell you what bit it is. Like, nobody else has to fucking suffer the absolute pain of cutting we're all going to do this awful thing to survive, which is eating other people, and it's the worst thing. But like, if to create more distance, to make it easier for the sick people to be able to stomach it, only 2 of us are going to go back there, cut off the bits. We'll not tell you who it is. But, and like, early doors,
So they're taking like a lucky dip. Lucky dip on which body part and who it is. But they're going in and butcher them.
Oh, and then by the end
I think like the only way I could get through that, right, doing it, like if I was the person cutting off the meat off the bone, is to just do like a comic book maniacal laugh while I was doing it. Just as like an overcompensating for like how fucking barbaric it is. Making it cartoonish and trivialized. Distance yourself by pretending to really be enjoying it.
What I would do is I would put snow over their face so it doesn't look anything like my friend. But then I would use like stones and other bits of snow and like maybe clumps of hair from other people, and I would make it look like someone that I disliked, just to make it easier.
Manipulate their face and all that.
Yeah. Are you chopping up Swilla brother, man? Aye. I can't. Because man, I'm a picky eater. Right, and I'll try things. We've been eating real well for the past 2 days. You've seen me. I'm good. I
like when we're on the Scandinavia trip with Barang, because you legitimately try stuff that you know you're not going to like just because somebody's put so much work into making this the best it can possibly be. So you're like, all right, I don't like mushrooms, but I will try them at their very best. And then you go, all right, still don't like mushrooms.
Yeah,
I give it a shot.
Oh man, being a picky eater is not a fun thing to be. So I try to do myself the favor of, hey man, your palate changes every now and again. You know, man, 10 years ago I didn't like a finger up my arse. Now I love it. We all grow. Okay, it's the same for vegetables. It's the same for different seafood. Is just never gonna fucking. Seafood is the beer of food, which is people who like it will never be able to fathom that you just
doesn't matter how you dress it up.
It tastes like the sea.
How many times you try and like make it taste like strawberries or whatever? You're not gonna get it to taste anything other than beer.
Yeah.
Now you've got this face that you pull, and I was joking about it on our Instagram story last night, but like, your face isn't one of like enjoyment, because this is some of the nicest food we'll ever eat, right? And I'm thoroughly enjoying all of it. Yours is like bracing yourself and then relief. You're like, it's not shit. You're like, fuck, of course it's not shit. It's like Michelin star food. And you're like, not shit.
Yeah, but like, man, I
wouldn't like it.
I go. Here's the thing: roll, right? Caviar. Like, first of all, I don't believe anyone enjoys the taste of fucking caviar. That's just people being posh, too scared of not being able to fit in looking posh. It's fucking fish eggs. That's disgusting. That's really gross across the fucking board.
You didn't like them?
No, and I never. Nobody likes caviar. Right, it's a fucking illusion that people do to look rich.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wouldn't spend caviar money on caviar. I'd eat it if it's in front of us because it's nice.
Nobody enjoys driving fucking Bugattis. Have you been in a Bugatti?
Do you know
They're
what?
super uncomfortable. They're too low to the ground. There's no air conditioning. There's no heating. There's not fucking thing there.
You can't bump up onto the curb to get it onto your drive or whatever. Like,
no.
Even if you've got like a ramp up to your drive, you're not getting up a ramp. You're literally on the road. You're never bumping up a curb ever.
It's a stats thing.
You're taking away so much practicality by having a lush car.
That's what caviar is. People just go, all right, I like this because rich people like this.
I can agree.
Same with fucking kids. Right?
Fucking kids.
Same with fucking kids. Nobody likes fucking kids. They just do it because all the rich people do.
All the powerful people.
Yeah, man. There's just like, you're like, okay, what's the deal? I'm a B-list Hollywood actor.
How else can I get on that island?
How else do I get up there? You gotta fuck the kids.
You know what's legit though? Like, you say that status only with caviar. I had fucking no idea until we had it in abundance last night how good, I'm not even going to say it correctly, gross.
Foie gras. Oh, the most
evil.
When did evil taste so fucking good?
Why did that goose have to go through so much for me to just go, slapping me lips because of that torture?
Oh man, it was maple.
I would enjoy it more without the evil. You know, if I didn't know what I was eating, I would enjoy it more. It definitely comes with a side portion of guilt that the goose was fucking force-fed maple syrup. so that its liver would taste that good as patty. Oh my God. The fuck is that kind of barbarian shit?
Real cruel.
Amazing.
Proper French. Real French. It's real French. The only war you can win is against a fucking animal.
I torture a goose.
But man, they
feel good, does it?
Throat fucked that goose with fucking maple syrup so much. It was a dessert.
First was like, oh, lush this. Lush this. When? When?
Aye, like it is one of the things where I'm like, I'll always eat meat, and I know eating meat's wrong, blah 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 blah. But I find it really easy to turn a blind eye because man, there's also 2 wars going on that I'll be able to turn a fucking blind eye to. I'm really good at it.
I support Newcastle, man. I like the Saudis are doing some shit out there, like, but however, man, it's fine. I'll be alright. Enjoy the match. I'm
really good at just letting atrocities happen near me, around me, as long as they don't directly affect me, then but yeah, foie gras is so just evil. Like, it would be like, and this particular type of lamb, the reason it's so delicious is because we electrocute it every time it falls asleep, right? It's just, it does something to the stress of the meat. Every time this lamb is counting sheep, it's counting its parents, right? Because it's not seeing its parents anymore. We've got these little brain scanners, and the second the lamb falls off to sleep, we electrocute it back to awake.
Why do you think?
But you should try the fucking meat. I'd be like,
why do you think its hair's curly?
Yeah, why would you fucking do it? Is it good though? Is it
yum? A
real specific type.
But then
the only way.
But then, like, if you didn't have to see that happening and it got put in your plate in this fancy restaurant, which is like what we do was we fucking separate ourselves from the reality. You'd still be fucking Instagramming it and taking, enjoying it and all that. Like, it's bad.
Yeah.
Should we be better people?
No.
Not me. I'm glad you said that. Like.
No, not at all.
If you hadn't said that, it would have been 50-50.
Why is it my fucking responsibility to be better than the French?
It's just basic low bar.
Yeah, right.
This is a basic low bar that we should all be able to get under.
Yeah. I'm not living a lesser life than any fucking Frenchman. That's it. Speaking of Frenchmen, I watched Napoleon the other day, and for a man that won so many military victories, is widely considered to be one of the greatest military minds historically. Why was an hour and 45 minutes of that movie about his fucking bird?
Oh, yeah.
Man, did you know, according to the movie, Napoleon was in 3 battles.
They just focused on his private life.
Oh, my fucking God. Man, he ate pussy under a table a lot.
Did he?
Yeah.
Like, where else was he eating?
Well, I don't know if he ate pussy fucked her under a table. Oh, God.
Was he stood up?
Just what a Ridley Scott, man. Fucking for the man that gave us Gladiator, right? Amazing film. The man that gave us fucking Alien movies, and then shat the Prometheus sucked dying shit out of a cancerous fucking arsehole. Napoleon could have been 90 minutes shorter and involved, any of the other fucking the battles were fucking amazing. The battles were really, really interesting. The problem with Napoleon as a fucking movie, right, is it's about the French, right? Now, obviously, it's in English, right? Because it needs to go to an American audience. So, but they
didn't have French accents, did they?
They give the French people British accents, even though the French are at war with the fucking Brits, right? Mm-hmm. Here's a rule, right? You're allowed to do the French accent, right? The French have lost enough wars, right, over history that you're just allowed to make fun of their accent all the time.
Well, nobody... Just make them, get them a French accent, surely.
Make it a really racist one. My name is Napoleon. I have decided to go to war with Nobody cares. Joaquin Phoenix can do that voice. What are the French going to do? What are the French going to fucking
Probably
do?
Quit.
They'll have another little riot about it. They'll throw some stones. They'll burn down a couple of cars, and then nothing will happen.
Didn't they at some point say Vive la France as well?
In an English accent.
So they've got like English accent, and then they said Vive la France, which would be, because you've already translated it, that would have to translate back. So they said, long live France.
Aye. Ridley Scott, I think, is slowly losing it, and it gives me great fear about the next, because you know he's doing Gladiator again. There's going to be a second Gladiator.
Oh, yeah, you know what I couldn't get my head around? Gladiator 2. You can't call it Gladiator 2.
Why?
Well, it's just a little bit like it's just wrong. Like, you know, even Aliens was called Aliens. It wasn't Alien 2. Like, the next Blade Runner wasn't Blade Runner 2. It was Blade Runner 2049 or whatever. Like, I think you just need to say Gladiator and then, like...
Gladiators.
Or just something.
Well, that's what I did with the Alien.
I don't think you go Gladiator 2.
Gladiators.
That's like Titanic 2.
I think Gladiators works, and it's got that fucking Irish actor dude in it who's...
Barry Keoghan?
No, the other one. The one that was in Normal People.
I don't know.
Let's find out.
I've never seen Normal People.
Oh, it's really good.
Just
really
idiots.
good. Lots of watch with Natalie. There's loads of pussy and dick in it.
Nice.
Aye. Oh, I don't know if there's pussy in it. There's titties in it and there's
Barry
dick in it.
Keoghan or Keegan or whatever.
Keoghan.
He flaps his cock about in Saltburn.
Ah, if I had his cock, I'd fucking... you know what, Kai? I apologise. Barry Keoghan is in it. I'm a big bastard. As is... Paul Mescal is the name I was looking for. Mm-hmm. And fucking... Pedro Pascal. And Denzel Washington. Absolutely fucking sold. Now. Let's play Get Kai Cancelled. This is going to be Gladiator 2.
From what?
Right? Paul Mescal and Barry Keoghan, obviously playing the Gladiators.
Yeah.
Who does Denzel Washington play? I don't have the answer here. Time appropriate. Come on now.
He's a slave.
You fucking racist.
Is he a slave?
You piece of shit.
I'm asking if he's a slave.
I don't... Why don't you ask him that?
Well, you don't have the answer?
No, I just want to get cancelled.
You asshole. I thought you like the only answer's the one that wouldn't have been my first guess.
It was your first guess. I've got proof that it was your fucking first guess. You bag of shit.
I've set up a game for you as well, you know.
Have you?
Mm-hmm. I've set up a game to see how famous you think you are. I keep getting fucking called from like 0200 numbers, like going, it's 02 ringing. And you're like, I'm not even with 02, like basic scam. Like, you're just taking a punt on it being 02. But like, I'm getting them like daily now, where it's just someone like, it's just boot that accident that you've had. They're not even making an effort.
I hate it. I just, there's just, it's, this is why old people have to die. Because there gets a bit where they're just so stupid that you can just rob them of everything. And then the rest of the world becomes stupid on average because we allowed the world to just outpace pensioners and the average IQ goes down because you stop learning new things at the age of like fucking 50.
Oh, I saw somebody a comedian lost their Instagram account because they followed the link that promised them a free blue tick.
Good.
Devastating.
Good. That's what you get, you fucking idiot.
Devastating blow. And most people's like accounts that get taken over on Facebook's like, see who has visited your profile. And you're like, I wonder who's been looking at little old me. And you click the link and you're like, every time that someone's like sending you messages, clearly not from them, you're like, you clicked that.
Yeah.
Oh, you fool.
Oh my God, is this video from you last night being absolutely mental? Well, God, I've not done anything fun in 25 years, but I might as well double check just in case. I'm glad you got fucking hacked, you damn cunt.
So my game for you, I mentioned it on a previous podcast, is that we're going to find out how famous you think you are.
Okay. Important clarification just for my ego here, right? Not good at social media. I'm going to try and be better. I'm going to try and actually be a bit better at social media this year, right? But
we're going alone off Instagram followers.
Yeah, that's fair. It's the one I'm most active on. So
Scotland and Aston Villa's John McGinn.
Oh, he's definitely got more.
How many do you have?
I have. It's over 400,000. 417k.
417,000.
John McGinn is. I'm going to guess because Scotland have qualified for 2 major tournaments. John McGinn has a lot to do with that.
Scotland are as popular as they've ever been. Like, there's a lot more engagement with Scotland and the football.
So he's a hero.
I've known in about 20 years.
Yeah, he's a hero amongst the Scots. He's also been really good for Aston Villa, and I know they're doing well this season. So I don't think he's up there. I don't think he's up to 1 million, but I would say he's probably closer to 500k than I am.
He's on 338,000. You've got about
Well.
approximately 70,000 more followers.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. Maybe I could be friends with John McGinn.
And I'll also give him a cheeky follow. Oh, Daniel.
What did you do?
I went to click on follow on a photograph, didn't I?
Hold on, what?
Well, I was like, I'll give him a cheeky follow. It's a fucking screen cap. It's a fucking screen cap. Obviously, I screen capped a couple to run past you.
You're an old man. Okay, so I got that one wrong. Okay.
Uh-huh. That man laughs.
Oh, he's definitely got more. Because even though he would have gone off for a bit, I know he's sober now.
When was his pump?
His pump was 2012.
Yeah.
And then he got cancelled.
So Instagram was a big thing in 2012. It wasn't like he's got this pre-Instagram fame.
No. But he was big on Instagram. He was big on Twitter. I'm pretty sure he did Vine and stuff back when Vine was still out. And I know since then he's gone sober. Which fair fucks to you. I mean, he's made it his personality, which every person in the world agrees. We love sober people. Well done for doing that. But shove it up your fucking hoop if you're gonna preach it all the time. He's sober. He's doing a bit better. He's got to be north of 1 million, I'd say. Or maybe 750k.
You've got that kind of right. He's 818,000. But I was a bit shocked at that because I just hadn't heard about him for a while. Like, I didn't know if he was doing
he finally did the right thing and admitted he wasn't a stand-up comedian. And then just went, I'm just going to be an online personality, which is fair enough. Comedians get very fucking territorial when people who aren't comedians decide to try and be comedians or use comedy as like a stepping stone into becoming a TV presenter or a fucking personality or whatever. This is why you'll get a lot of, and I'm very, very guilty of it. I regularly badmouth people who I think use my fucking art form as a stepping stone to something lesser.
It comes with its own difficulty though. If you come into stand up and you've already got a following, whether it's off social media or off wrestling or off like a TV show or something like that, like you're literally cutting your teeth in something that you might be brilliant at eventually. You're doing it in everyone's view. You're not just like doing it in the open mics in front of a bunch of people that'll not even remember your name tomorrow.
Oh man, so I've got a friend of mine who will remain nameless at the moment because he is unbelievably fucking famous to a particular like group of people. Like he's huge. He will be on the podcast one day, but he is the reason me and him are talking. He's getting in comedy. He wants to transition from what he used to do into stand-up comedy, and he could sell out the Apollo 4 times quite comfortably in under a day and do a show where all of his audience would laugh at what he did. But I said to him...
But imagine that many people turned up to your first gig. To be fair, I turned up to my first gig with 150 people who knew who I was.
Yeah.
Like, because it was friends. It was like people I played football with, people I worked with at previous workplaces, people I went to school with. It was like early days of Facebook.
Yeah.
So like everybody that I could reach on Facebook, like in 2008, come to me gig. And there was about 150 people who knew who I was. So that was like a different start to most. But then obviously I had to go and run and cut my teeth properly.
This kid who's trying his best, he's done Brighton Dome by himself. Like
so he's already doing full shows?
He did. And then, and he's doing a tour. But I said to him, I'm like, man, if you want, because he's like, I really like stand-up. I want to change what I'm doing. I want to get into stand-up. I'm like, if you want to get into stand-up, you want to be considered a real stand-up, and in order to do that, you have to go and find a neutral audience first, and you have to perform to them. So
should we get them to come and do some open mics with us, and like do a bit of coaching as well? Like we'll do some Red Rolls together, do Summer Hall.
I mean, he's got some gigs coming. The next few weeks are going to be interesting for him because he's got some gigs coming up. I'm very excited to see how they go. Also, in a very fucking weird way, it's like a real. I don't know what a mirror or a juxtaposition point in my fucking career. Like when I started out, I was always looking for advice from older comedians. Frankie Boyle was very nice to me at the start.
Yeah, Ed Byrne.
Ed Byrne, I was looked after. Fucking Rob Brydon was an absolute diamond, as was Michael McIntyre. I didn't see them regularly, but they were absolutely helpful in my career. Put good words for me in places like that. To now get to be
Rod
that,
Gilbert was my guy like that.
To get to now be that for someone else is good, but also I'm really, really bad at giving advice because I'm like, man, you're infinitely more famous than I am. I haven't done the circuit properly in like fucking 7 years. Take all of my advice with a massive pinch of salt because Like, man, and also it might not work for you.
Yeah, you don't even know what the climate's like now. Is it like, as it used to be like, oh, you do your open mics at fucking Jongleurs, your open spots, and then you get like a bunch of work off the back of that. Like, I don't know what the route to professional is anymore.
Was also
I
like,
knew what my route to professional was. I don't know if that applies now.
yeah, and
Route to professional is probably video everything at the back of the room, clip it up, put it online. Like, that is probably the route to pro now.
yeah, and also, like, a big part of my career and a big part of many comedians from my generation was this toxic thing of, God, we just want to be considered real comedians. It's very important to be considered a real comedian. So what you also do is, because that's an important desire for you, you also then gatekeep on what the definition of a real comedian is. And it can be very sort of...
And that means you get your 20 minutes locked in. That's me 20. I don't step away from it. It's airtight, bulletproof. It works in the hardest room. And you just lose all creativity because you're like, you've got this product that works and you're not willing to deviate from it.
Yeah, part of me is just saying to him, I'm like, man, maybe don't take being a real comic seriously. Like, I've pursued my entire life trying to be considered a fucking real comedian. And, you know, I'm sure there are plenty of fucking people out there who don't consider me a real comedian, but I've got my career. Just don't get hung up on shit.
The next one is, are you not more famous than Hot Water Comedy Club?
Ooh, now, okay. So they're unbelievably good at social media. They've got Paul Smith.
Who's the synergy between them. They're responsible for each other's rise.
Yeah.
So they come up famous together.
I love Paul Smith's fucking success story, completely and utterly ignored by every single fucking Avalon off the curb run TV show. Never done any of those shows. Bigger and more famous than fucking 95% of the country.
Me and Natalie watched a 15-minute clip of his on DMT while on mushrooms. And it was fucking mint. You know, just like spending time with someone that's like actually quite soothing when they're talking and talking about the thing that you're like partially experiencing right now, and like a thing like what a class experience that was. Listen to Paul Smith talk hallucinations while hallucinating.
Paul Smith is definitely more famous than I am. Not globally, but definitely his accent will hold him back. Hot water. You know what? I'm going to say yes. They're just so good at social media. They've got so many good comedians on their fucking roster that they're allowed to. They're going to be as good as like a fucking meme account.
They're also responsible for one of the fastest growing podcasts right now with Jamie Hutchison and Tony Carroll, the Hot Water Green Room.
Yeah,
is theirs as well. So they're getting like extra eyes.
Yeah,
from that
yeah. Then almost definitely.
They're 468. Ooh. So you're kind of in the same bracket.
Okay.
Next up, Troy Hawke of the Greeters Guild, our best friend.
Milo McCabe. Yeah, absolutely. Milo must have overtaken me fucking last year, because if somebody's regularly posting and like
he went super mainstream in that, like the Man City team. Do you know the story with him getting on the Man City team coach? He was meant to do Greeters Guild for the Man City players to come onto their coach for the open top bus tour for winning the treble. So Jack Grealish and everyone's getting on. Erling Haaland to Kevin De Bruyne, like fucking some of the best footballers of our generation, and Jack Grealish. And then and then he's at the door, but it starts getting a little bit like testy. There's a fucking public are there and all that, and they're just fucking shepherding him onto the bus, and the bus drives off. And all of a sudden, Milo McCabe is the only person not of the Man City fold that's on the Man City open top bus and just maintained character and chatted to Calvin Phillips, just fucking had conversations with the Man City team. And then I've seen recently he's doing the Premier League darts and chatting to like Michael Van Gerwen, like he's doing interviews, like sitting interviewing them, but like in a like not an Ali G kind of way because it's his own character, but like in that kind of staying in character and giving them loaded questions, setting them up to be funny.
Yeah, Milo's got to be bigger than me now. And also, I gotta say, there are very few people in the world I'd be able to say this about. Like, if Elliot Steele, who I love so very much, he is my boy. If Elliot Steele ever became more famous than me, it would fracture your friendship a little bit. No. I would definitely be proud of him, but I would have to do a lot of growing to be the bigger person as I should be, because I'm older than him, I'm more experienced than him. Like, and because he's younger than me, there would always be this bit of like, okay, I as an older comic, I'm watching myself be overtaken by a younger generation. I hope and I believe it will happen one day, because he's He's so good at stand-up now. Milo, I do not begrudge it if he gets bigger than me, because he's been grafting for so fucking long.
And the fact that he tore down his career and built it back up, like, mindfully. He was doing a character called Filberto that smashed at them clubs that we're talking about, the Junglers, the airtight 20 minutes. Yeah. He was playing the Comedy Store. In the Comedy Store, wouldn't book his new character because we'll give you the spots off your old character. He's like, I don't do that anymore. And they're like, you're going to have to come in for an open spot. And he's like, sure. And he literally just started his career again, like around about like 2014. Just start his career again, and I mean, like, there's no way he would have reached the success that he had on his previous character that worked in a 20-minute set. But
I fucking hated the character Troy Hawk for the first 3 years. Because it was part of like the first iteration of Troy was like he was doing a character show with like 4 different characters. Troy was one of them, and Troy was the weakest out of the 4, I thought. And Milo was like, "That's the one I'm going to start."
Because there was actually one of the characters that was like a Scrabble champion, and he wore like a wife beater top and a headband as if he was and he'd be the Scrabble guy. He was quite like working class, and he actually just took elements from the Scrabble guy and put the like kind of that mind in Troy Hawk.
Yeah. It sucked, and then it was about 2018 or 19 was the first, because Milo's a really good writer, and he writes so much more than any of us. He's probably genuinely one of the most hard-working writing comedians.
The one lines of the Greeters Guild that are like the ones that he's written and prepared, and he's like got them in his back pocket ready to use, are some of the best written, just like single lines ever.
So Troy Hogg, more famous. I'm going to guess at this point, maybe just north of 500,000.
Yeah, 545,000.
I'm fucking good at this.
You are good at this. Now, Conniver from D12. The rapper who rapped into it alongside Eminem for many years.
I'm going to guess, because I mean, I'm so far out of the fucking loop on this. I imagine it's been years since he's done anything. I imagine like he wasn't the biggest one of any of those things. I'm going to guess that I've got quadruple what he's got.
You've got approximately 8 times more than what he's got. I'm catching him. 54.3. And he has husband before MC.
I like that. Good for him. That's really nice.
I love it.
But that's when you've absolutely given up your status as rapper, where you're like, I'm a husband first.
He's in his 50s,
and then I insult bitches.
His money. He's not that bothered with social media, but you know, he's...
Oh, that's really sweet.
But I don't. He's got MC before father.
Oh, okay.
Husband, MC, father. All right. Linda Lusardi.
Who?
Yeah, your dad has definitely wanked over her. He's the Boomers page 3 model.
Okay, let me Google her without hopefully.
She was, you know how like in your generation,
Linda Wasabi.
No, yes, Linda Wasabi. No, don't Google it because you might find out the answer. So I'm gonna put it this way, you know,
Lusardi. I'm just gonna go straight to images here. Okay.
So this is, you know, anybody from that generation. When I was a kid, anybody who done the Scarlett Johansson, you know, like she's the goat. Scarlett Johansson.
Good for her at that age. Good for her.
That's when she was young. Oh, do you know what we did the other day? We brought up the wrong Kate Adam.
Oh, did we?
Or Kate Adams. We brought up like so we were talking about the game I played at Christmas with celebrities game, and there's one of the loose women. It's called Kay Adams. Yeah. And we brought up some random model called Kay Adams. Didn't show the picture at the camera and both fawned over her. So the people watching the podcast just saw us just get one of the loose women going, help her.
Great.
So Linda Lusardi is the go-to hottie for like anyone from my dad's generation from when they were in their like 20s and 30s.
Okay. I haven't heard of her, but that doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. There's no way that she stopped. Does she still do stuff now? Is she like? I'm assuming she's not.
Contact work inquiries. There's a link.
Oh, hold on.
There's a link for our contacts
in her Instagram. Uh-huh. Oh, then she's lower than me. If you've got booking inquiries in your fucking description, I'm I'm confident I've got more.
Do you not have booking inquiries in your description?
No, no, that's desperation. If in your social media, if as
I think so. If you're a model,
absolutely.
If you're a model,
absolutely.
The first thing people want to know is how they book you for that thing.
And they should be able to Google your fucking agent, right? If people cannot fucking find your agent and go, if they're going through you, if you're telling, if I ever see anyone, right, who's got booking details, I'm like, you fucking juggler.
7 million. 113,000.
Aye, absolutely.
You know you've made it if you've got no more followers than the Lusardi.
I've been wanting to okay, that's good. Before we go, should we discuss the really funny tragedy that happened in Iceland?
Oh, someone fell in a volcano.
They didn't fall in a volcano.
And how did we celebrate?
We had a volcano in Stockholm.
Celebrate.
Yeah.
Really tragic.
So there's obviously lots of volcanic activity in Iceland at the moment, as there always is. But there's like a particular bit where there's big. The ground is split open.
Floor's lava.
So because the Icelandic have such a weird musical accent and a weird sense of humor, it's very hard to know when they're telling you something whether it's good news, bad news, or non-news at all. So we get there and all of our promoters in the backstage are like, did you hear about what happened today? I'm like, no. I'm like, a man fell into the crack. I'm like, are you about to laugh? Like, is this funny or is this a tragedy? They're like, he fell. I'm like, have they found the body? They haven't found the body. You're like, is this funny? Is this a tragedy? What emotion am I meant to be experiencing? Because your tone of voice isn't letting me know. Is he alive? Well, they haven't found his corpse. Why are you saying corpse? I'm like, did it fall into lava? They're like,
are you all sad right now? Is this a national tragedy, or is this like a source of humor? Like, is this Darwin Awards?
No, I feel like that's
because if you fell into a volcano, I'm imagining the volcano isn't just this bubbling pit of lava like a soup with like gloop and bubbles coming up, right? Because if it's like that, the air is probably sulfur. Like, you probably can't breathe, and it's so hot to be near it. I imagine that it's like just rocks and it's a mountain accident. It's like somebody falls off a cliff, splats off the rocks. Because you fall into a volcano like that, it's implied that you fall into the lava.
Yeah. That's why
probably didn't fall into the lava.
That's why I kept saying to them, they're like, and they kept on acting like there was a chance this guy was still alive. I'm like, I don't know if you've played computer games from the 90s, but falling in lava is the end.
So he basically would have fell in the lava and went, and lost loads of hit points.
Yeah.
And then, loads of hit points. And then, like, eventually lose all your hit points and die.
He didn't fall into lava. He fell down a hole. There was like an underwater, like one of the magma chasms was then filled with like water, and he fell into that. And they haven't found. I mean, he's definitely dead.
Boiled.
He's dead. No, I think it would have been. I don't think it's because the magma's not there anymore. I don't know how hot the water is. Like, it's not an active tunnel in that aspect. But a very Icelandic way to die. Very on brand.
He shouted, I can't swim, as he fell into the lava.
It's like, first of all, I'm pretty sure that's how you bury people in Iceland. That's because Iceland's is not a religious country. I do not believe.
I don't think it is. I don't feel like it is. It doesn't feel like it's like awash with churches.
Any country that has free education tends to not be religious. Really good free education. If you have an educated society,
Who's paying for, like, how do you mean free education? Like, everyone gets free education, right?
Well, I meant like a higher sort of level. Sorry, not like primary
like
school.
actual...
Yeah. Like, Scotland has free education, and the younger generations. Oh no,
never once been religious as a country.
Not since.
just Glasgow, and it's nothing to do with religion.
Yeah, we absolutely were religious ages and ages ago, and then we got free education, and now we're not a religious country anymore. There is a direct correlation between education and believing in God.
I do feel like you've got quite a big Catholic Protestant thing going on, though.
Yeah, only in Glasgow. Historically, people don't know what it's about, and also, no man, I think you could comfortably walk down the street in fucking Glasgow and struggle to find people who actually believe. Like, they are Christians in the same way that, like, Jews are Jewish. You know, ethnic Jews who, like, Ari Shafir. He's a Jew, ethnically, but religiously, nothing to do with Judaism, doesn't believe in fucking any of it whatsoever. Like, I think you'll get a lot of people with the cross and fucking religious tattoos because their dad had religious fucking tattoos. But do they believe in a God?
Like all of the Muslims that we've drank with.
Yeah. All the Muslims I've gotten stoned with and done coke with, those types of Muslims, where it's like, look, on the surface to my parents, I'm a Muslim. In real life, aye. Also, like, they've got racism in Iceland, which of course they do. But like, the way these countries are pitched to us, Sweden and Iceland and Norway, especially when you think about them in the parts of the world that we're from the UK and in America, it's always pitched as like they're the Canada of Europe. Right?
Very accepting,
very open. Sweden is the gun murder capital of Europe.
I didn't know that.
That's recent.
I had used down as like I'm speaking directly to Sweden here. It's like God tier, somewhere above first world.
Yeah,
as a country. But it's just got a big good PR campaign.
Well, no, I think they've got their far right coming through now because like all the gun related crimes is gang related, and the gangs are not like. It's not Aryan people out doing it. It's not the blonde hair, blue eyed Swedes. It's the different immigrant groups that have come through over the years.
The crime is from your foreigners,
which breeds
so
the
that's
right wing.
We were like, oh, they're so accepting, and they're like, come on in, and then the crime goes up, and you're like, orcs.
Yeah, you can't call them orcs.
It was the Yorukai. We've got to get to the gig.
Yeah, sure.
Do we have anything else to report? Man fell in a volcano. We've been cryogenically frozen. We've been on the food tour of Scandinavia.
I think so.
We're going to get fat.
Yep.
But like, in a good way.
All right, I guess we'll see you somewhere else in Sweden and Norway, cunts.
Bye.